Hi, everybody, and welcome my beautiful co-host and cosmic sister, all
Hmm.
the way from outer space, from the cosmos and Arizona, right?
Yes.
And everybody watching and listening to us, welcome to all of you. And we are the Cosmic Sis-Stars Show with Miss Corinne Mooney and myself, Anne. And we will talk about detachment is not indifference. I love the topic for today, to be
Yes.
honest. So, in the soft shimmer between holding on and letting go, there is a sacred space where the soul can finally breathe. So, tonight we are open the doors to that luminous inner chamber, the place where detachment becomes an act of love, no withdrawal, and where presence grows deeper precisely because the grip has softened. So many have been taught that detachment means coldness, distance, or emotional absence. But in truth, detachment is a return to clarity. It is the moment when the heart stops clinging to what drains its light and begin to honor what truly nourishes it. It is the shift from reacting to responding, from fear to trust, from entanglement to sovereignty. In
Yes.
this episode, we explore how detachment invites us to a higher, freer way of relating with ourselves, with others, and with the world. We unravel the myths, dissolve the guilt, and step into the gentle power of choosing peace without abandoning love. So, welcome to a conversation that liberates, uplifts, and realigns you with your own center. So, welcome again. And today we have Wednesday, May 13th in US and Europe. And our future Australia have Thursday, May 14th, right? We are in the middle of May, my goodness.
Wow.
And again, we will talk about detachment is not indifference. Our last show on Cosmic Guardians and Cosmic Sisters was last Wednesday, May 6th in US and Europe, and we discussed awaken and unfold, growth and expansion. And that was a great show too. Really good one. We do go live for you on YouTube every week at youtube.com/ at Cosmic Guardians 111 slash streams and youtube.com/ at Angel Place on Earth slash streams. And we stream the replay after the show on facebook.com/ Cosmic Guardians.
Wow.
So now let's take a soft breath
Ah, yes.
together and arrive fully into this moment and dive deep into today's topic.
Wow. This is one of my a favorite subject of mine because, especially being a Reiki master teacher, teaching detachment to my students is one of the biggest things that they need to learn in order to be a good healer. Uh, you want to care, but you do not want to become attached to the outcome because that outcome is not yours. It belongs to them. And
Yeah.
I see detachment as a breath of fresh air, a sense of freedom. It's a way of deeply caring for yourself and others without the need to change anything or control the situation. It is just being there, giving assistance in any way that's needed. And we've talked a lot about this. How can you be present in a person's life without eh, wanting to fix it for them and letting them tell you what they need? And it's amazing because mystics Every philosophy that I've ever studied spend vast amount of time wanting to achieve detachment. Detachment from material things, detachment from situations or people. And then you are free to let unconditional love flow without the restriction of rules because you're living in the now and being in the present.
Yes. You
Yes,
know, there's a quiet power in detachment, and you can even call detachment an art,
very much so.
a spaciousness that allows the soul to feel itself, get in touch with itself, to breathe without collapsing into the weight of expectation
Mhm.
or the noise of emotional entanglement.
Yes.
Yet, detachment is very often misunderstood. And I have a saying that I always say, when I encounter something that may express it like your favorite expression, this looks interesting.
Yes.
So taking a step back, that's how I express it, right?
Yeah.
And letting myself just observe, feel in if that's going to be a part of it, not rushing into it. That gives one a better possibility to hear from within what's going on, right? Am I going to interact with this or not? Um, Not just reacting like we do. When we jump in with both feet within something, that creates a reaction.
Yep.
Yeah. So when we take a step back and we feel it in and we breathe and we watch, we observe, that means that we respond when we come to that sense, what I'm going to do, right?
Yes. And the difference that I see, um, indifference is literal death. It is more deadly than anger, or uh, or other emotions that you think, oh, that's a negative. It is more dangerous than hate. If you hate something, there's still an emotional pull to it. When
Yes, it
you
is
are
strong.
indifferent, yeah, that is the death of possibilities, the death of relationships, and the death of the soul. Indifference sometimes comes from when our emotional caring has died, when we don't care for ourselves. Sometimes it can be out the results of a person who has faced the loss of someone, trauma, or grows up, especially grows up where indifference is shown when they do not perform according to the wishes of others.
Exactly. Very well said.
A
Very well
defense
said.
system, yeah.
Yeah. So there are many who believe that detachment means withdrawing from life. No. Numbing the heart or stepping away from care. No. True detachment is not indifference, as you talked about indifference, right?
Right,
It is the presence without possession. It is love without control. It is
exactly.
clarity without the fog of attachment.
Yeah. And when I'm speaking with my clients, and in especially with the relationship, uh, you definitely know that it's over when one or both of the people are indifferent to the outcome of the other, not caring about that outcome in any way, shape, or form. The light goes out. It's
Yeah,
over. There's really no way to rekindle it. Where other emotions you can kind of work around. Why do they fear? Why do they have guilt? Why did they do this? But with indifference, it is gone. It is completely devoid of any feeling. And
yeah,
that in my estimation, is emotional death.
Yes,
Detachment, however, is the deepest caring for all around, giving you the ability to love unconditionally. When I'm assisting clients with their challenges, grief, loss, trauma, or even watching their child go through surgery, like was just the situation this week, I am completely detached. First of all, so my emotions are not going to interfere what they're going through. And then I can completely fill them with unconditional love, a
yes,
loving from a higher place, a place of no judgment, no expectations, no obligations, no demands. I just allow that love through Reiki to be there so they can use it any way that they choose.
exactly. And we have someone in the chat room, UKG85, says sometimes we have to get over ourselves.
That's the big one.
Yes, yes, exactly. Because many times we are our own worst enemy, if you could say enemy, right? Because
Yeah,
we follow things automatically that we have been taught that have been imposed upon us. We just use them as without questioning. Is does this feel in alignment with me? Is this something I stand for? Did I inherit these values from somewhere? Yes, almost every time, yes. But we can work on that. That's the good news
yeah,
because we have choice. Of course, it needs us to practice self-love and having patience with ourselves, not punishing ourselves like we do sometimes. How could you be so stupid? You did it again, right?
exactly.
Instead of saying to yourself, okay, I did it again, I am aware, because it's that awareness that is the key for our progression and getting to know. Amen. Yes, exactly. Amen.
Yes, and it's always a process. It's uh, I find that life daily gives me opportunities to use the word tweak something that needs to be cleaned up a little bit or adjusted, or wow, I thought I had really worked on that one very diligently, but it needs a little bit more shining. And taking that as an artist would in looking at the picture from away and saying, okay, well, if I add a little more color there, it's going to brighten this, or if I do this, rather than, well, I failed again, I'm going to have to throw this away, and so on and so forth. So, but that is what we are here to experience the glory of self-discovery. And we the more loving you can do it, and the more awareness that you have when you do it, uh, we just keep on rolling forward.
Exactly. And as we said many times before, in our world, in our perception, there's no such a thing as failure.
Nope.
No.
No.
Only trying something out and finding out that maybe that's not my thing. It's not a
Well,
thing,
yeah.
right?
And exactly. And finding that, well, that's another way that isn't going to get me to where I want to go. It's
Exactly.
like, so, uh,
It's a good thing to be stubborn, but sometimes also we need to understand if I tried something 15 times and I can't make it work for me, maybe it's not my thing. Or
mhm,
maybe I can find my own way of doing things
yeah,
because maybe your way of doing exactly the same thing may not be mine. Maybe I need to do it differently than you, right?
yep, yep. And
Yep.
that's what makes us so unique and so wonderful to be around. And when you are with an individual that has your highest good as their concern, they allow you to keep, bumping into walls and maybe making a suggestion this way or that way, but they're with you. They're not controlling you, and they allow you to learn from the experience.
Yes,
And I'm very much, and I think every human is. We really learn a lesson best by experiencing it, and some lessons are better learned if we listen to others. But I guarantee you, the first time you touch something hot, the word hot means something to you rather than don't touch it, it's hot. But when you touch something and it's hot, you go, oh, hot, no good, not do that. You know? And sometimes allowing yourself to learn things by experiencing, like, I love this laptop, but I have found with this new laptop, there are little hidden things along the sides. So do not touch the side of my laptop because things will go astray, which I haven't learned yet. So I kind of touch it like this. I know there's nothing there, so I'll touch it up there. But I learned you've got to be careful with this new laptop because there are things that I'm not aware of. But I'm not a failure. I'm just learning.
exactly. And there's a benefit with learning with trial and error, right?
Yeah.
And the benefit is that you remember it better
Oh,
when you
yes.
try yourself. Yes, you do,
Very much so. Yes.
for
Uh,
sure.
but
I want, yes,
go
please
ahead.
go ahead.
No, it's your turn.
So I want to say that indifference closes the heart, detachment opens it. So it's the opposite, right?
Very much.
Indifference says it does not matter. In other words, like you mentioned before, I don't care about it, right?
Yep.
Detachment says it matters deeply, but not at the cost of my inner peace.
Exactly.
Indifference disconnects you from your own emotional truth. Detachment connects you to a higher truth that is not shaken by temporary storms, right?
Absolutely. And just adding to that, I find that indifference leaves a very cold feeling. You're withholding and not caring. You're not allowing anything to uh, excite you or move you, and it's very shallow and self-serving. And it
Yeah,
can leave a person feeling hollow and unfulfilled, and it definitely cuts you off completely from the world. While
yeah,
detachment allows you to be the observer and to be giving and loving. But I love this also, not taking it personally,
exactly.
because it's not mine personally to take. But I can give this unconditional love, but I am giving love, but I am not giving away my love. That was a very fine distinction that I learned from a teacher. You don't give your heart, you give from the heart.
Yes,
You are of service, but you are not a servant.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's a huge difference. It's a really huge difference. And
Yes.
when I practice detachment, it's when I encounter something. Maybe I said this, I don't remember, even if we only have 20 minutes into the show, but well, I can have the thing that I may repeat myself, but when I encounter something that I don't really know, how am I going to respond to this, right? So metaphorically, I take a step back
Yep.
and I observe and I feel and I let the energies work for me because they are going to. When I don't interfere with the energies, they are going to show me, and then I can make my decision or choice or my response based on what I see. And we have been taught in this world to just react. Everything is going to be so fast. Jumping into something, and I have to, if someone says something mean to me, I have to defend myself, or I have to, how this world works.
Yeah.
But instead, how am I going to respond to what? Is it worth my time? It doesn't mean that I judge others in this situation as non-important, but I decide based on the bigger picture that I actually get when I detach myself from, instead of just jumping in and attaching myself to something.
Right. Exactly. And I love the way that you said that, uh, how you metaphorically step away. Uh, you and I, we speak the same language. We just speak it from a different perspective. And that's what I
Yes,
love. Where I use the word pause, which
yes,
in reality, I'm stopping everything, stopping my forward movement, stopping my thinking, just taking and being in the now, which actually helps me step away from the situation so I can see it in a different perspective, see it from a different angle, get a higher look of it. And when I was growing up, they used to use that phrase count to 10. And that's kind of what they were trying to get you to do. If you'll count to 10, at least by 10, you've taken a time away, and
yes,
you haven't just immediately reacted to it. Um, of course, being as tenacious as I was and stubborn, um, I never got past two, one, two, now on two. But I'm learning that it really, uh, it's a beautiful gift that we can give ourselves to just take that moment. And basically, I think of it as giving yourself a hug and then stepping into whatever needs to be taken care of. But yeah,
exactly. And when one practice detachment, it doesn't mean we stop feeling.
not at all.
We feel, no, we feel more clearly. It's the opposite. We see more honestly. We respond more consciously. And that is a key too. We tend to do things many times unconsciously, like an automated being, something we have been taught, right?
Yeah.
Reacting to something. And this is going to help one to be more making conscious choices.
Yep.
And you no longer react from fear because you've taken that pause as you express it, right?
Yeah.
You don't feel insecurity or the need to hold on. Instead, you allow life to move through you with grace. You allow others to be who they are without trying to shape their path. You allow yourself to grow without clinging to what once felt safe. Detachment is the soul's way of saying, I trust the unfolding.
That that should be written on plaques. Say that again. Detachment is the soul's way of what?
Detachment is the soul's way of saying, I trust the unfolding.
That right there. What an affirmation.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
perfect.
because uh, believe it or not, trust is something that is carefully removed from people. You can't control people's ideas if they can trust that it is really true. And that's as fragile as anything. We've talked about that before, trying to get trust back. But trusting yourself and taking that pause and stepping back, it allows you to come from a totally different place. And that's beautiful. You got to put an underline under that one. That one's a goodie.
I actually put it up here. It's rolling now so people can see it.
Yes, it is
Good.
because um, it's really nice when you're out there in the world and running out of well, I've tried no I've tried to be not take it personally. I've tried to not make an assumption. Now what do I do? And then you reach in your pocket and there's this wonderful okay, trust. And it's kind of like filling your artistic bags with things that you can rely on. And that was beautifully said. Beautifully said. Yes.
Thank you. And you know what? It's a great tool, detachment by itself,
Yeah.
right? Because we cannot really change how people behave around us in the world or, neighbors, family, co-workers, someone in the supermarket or whatever. They may behave in a way that feels not so positive for us, right?
Right.
Now I sound very diplomatic, I know.
That's
But
okay.
the thing is, detachment is a tool in a way because we can make those choices more easily and then being aware of what we are doing, how we respond. Because
Yeah.
as the four agreements, as you said also, we're not supposed to take things personally because they very rarely are. And even if someone says to me that I'm a piece of, I'm not going to say the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's their opinion of me. So if you want to feel that way, okay, go ahead. But
That's
I know who I am, so I don't need to take it personally.
yes.
And maybe that person, I'm not justifying them because that's very rude to say to someone. But maybe they are not their best version, and they obviously need to work on that part of themselves, right? But
Yeah.
it's not my thing to carry them over the doorstep and help them to do that if they don't come and ask me, which they probably will not, right?
Yes. Very much so. And detachment is not stepping away from life, but rather really emerging yourself into it completely and being free to be there when you're needed and to be able to assist people without getting your personal agenda going.
Yes. Yeah.
And we talked about that once before, the difference between empathy and sympathy. And empathy is that ability to come into someone's life to be of assistance without wanting to control. And and detachment just is a greater tool that you can use when you are dealing with situations. And I'll give you an example of detachment that happened to me not recently, but a while back. I had a friend, and we were talking about if ever a spaceship landed and they asked me to come aboard, would I go aboard? And I said, well, of course I would. And her comment was, well, really, could you leave everything that you have here? My children, my house, so forth. And what I said to her is, I love my children and I've raised them to be loving people, but I am not living their life for them. So I would be able to leave very easily, knowing that they are living their lives according to the way they chose to live their life. I am not attached to any material things. I mean, everything that I have in my home, it's not like, oh, I couldn't leave that, or I have to take this, or I have to take that, because they are things and they're there and they're useful, but I haven't given my soul to them. And yes, I said, you call me up, I'll meet you at the airport or wherever they land, and I would just very easily be able to walk from this life out of this life, because there's nothing here that is so overpowering that I can't say, you thank you very much for the service, but now I'm going to go do something else. And she looked at me and she said, you really been working on that detachment. And I said, yes, because it frees me.
Yes. And something from my life, and I had a few people in my life, I call them squirrels because they collect things. You can always use all those things. And I decided maybe 20 years ago that I'm going to live light. It doesn't mean that I don't collect anything. I
Right.
do, but I don't collect 10 things from as a memory of one person. I maybe choose one or two things,
Yeah.
right? Um, so living in a lighter way, because things actually wear us down. They take us down energetically because we have to care for all our stuff. But it's so funny. My mom, she's a squirrel. My dad was a squirrel. I was married to someone who actually is, who started to show signs of wanting to change that, because it's, yeah, I understand certain things. Sometimes it's good to collect a few things so you have when you need, so you don't need to rush to the store each and every time you need something, right?
Right.
But there's a kind of a limit to um how many things you can collect, right?
Yes, because then you're building shelves to hold the things that you might need sometime. And um, I, because I do a lot of my own house repairs and gardening and building and so forth, yes, I do have jars of different sizes of nails and
Mhm.
different sizes of screws. And it has come in very handy because you only need one to finish the project and you can go, but they're not hither, there, and yon. They're all in one place where if I need it, I can go to that place and then retrieve it. But about a year ago, I started going through a cleanse, um, and a metamorphosis again. I know that the energies that are coming through are encouraging me to really go through again and let go of things and find that minimal way of living. And it's amazing when you see them all stacked together and you're getting ready to either have a what we do in America, we have a lot of yard sales, or you're getting ready to give them away. And you look around and you go, oh, well, that cost me $4. That cost me $3. That cost me, that's $2,000 right there of stuff that I never use. I'm never going to use. And then I could be
Yeah.
using that $2,000 to go and have a party or something. So there again, the reality and the perception when you see all that you have gathered that really are not necessary, you understand that carrying emotions that are not yours to carry. And by
Yes.
finding that detachment, you are letting go. And all of a sudden, you feel lighter. You make decisions more clearly.
Yeah.
And and as we always say, we're still in the process of shining ourselves,
We
and
are.
we're given opportunities to go, okay, I need to polish that a little bit more. Not work on, because I don't need to be worked on. I just need to be honed. I just need to be shined a little bit. There's a difference. Nothing's broken with me. I am just emerging. And so therefore there's a little rough edge. I need to kind of sand it down a little bit. And and looking at yourself as this beautiful, beautiful statue or beautiful creation that is emerging. We're perfectly imperfect.
Yeah, we are.
You
And
know?
we are given opportunity actually to encounter things and
Phew.
respond to them. Actually, today for both of us, right?
Oh, yes. In fact, we laugh so hard that that's why I'm a little nasally, because I was laughing, and my allergies are, they like laughter, but it brings up a lot of stuffiness. But I had an opportunity, uh, and I realized that even though the words I were saying were words that this person would understand if I had said just the word by themselves, but when I put them in a sentence, he had no idea what I was saying. And there again, we're going to be talking about this in another show. Showed me on a very visual screen that we are moving into a higher frequency, and some people are not moving into that frequency. And this is a whole nother show. But this wasn't a matter of miscommunication, it was a matter of he could not understand the words that were coming out of my mouth because his frequency was different than my frequency.
Yeah.
And it was an awareness. At first I thought, am I having an experience where I need to practice detachment? And I thought, no, this is a higher thing than that right now. But
Yeah.
oh yes, we're always given opportunities with chickens and little
Yeah.
geese.
Yes, exactly. And that's so funny too. And my experience today was I said to someone, well, in Greece, I have 22 small baby chickens and a baby geese, right? A geeseling,
Yeah.
right? And he said to me, I don't really understand. And in my perception, that was hilarious because, but it makes sense. After we talk to each other, it makes sense because many of us feel sometimes that we are saying so simple things, you can't really misunderstand them. But it's like we talk over each other's heads. We're not speaking the same language, even if
Exactly.
it at a surface level the words are just the words we are used to, right?
Yes. There again, it's that uh, understanding, where that person is coming from, and that's the four agreements. And this is why uh, they were so beautiful, because a person is running their own film, and in their mind, they're seeing this, this, and this, and we're running our film and seeing this and this. Like we could be talking about a vehicle that's going to take us from one place to another, and I'm going to say, wow, I'm going to get a car and do this, and that person's thinking of a stagecoach. They're both means of transportation, but we're not really communicating. And this is one of the things that I know that you and I have worked on to make it more easily, to have a true communication and not just words that are coming back and forth. So, um,
Exactly. And it's quite common, not to the extent for us today, right? Maybe, but it's quite common. And this is how we misunderstand each other. A great way to move beyond that is to ask, I call it asking for a receipt from someone. So
Yes,
if I want to tell you something important, then it's my thing, my responsibility to make sure that you understood what I said in the
exactly.
way that I meant, not how you will receive it based on your experiences,
Perfect.
right? And
Yes,
this is how misunderstandings actually grow, usually. And
yes.
specifically when we have Mercury retrograde, but we don't have that right now. We're not enjoying that right now.
But this is true. Uh, because if you know that you are practicing detachment, and if you're in a situation, you're not going to have, you're going to find a way of resolving it without being attached to the outcome. And you've tried this and you've tried that, then you have to use your other tools. Like, do you understand what I'm really asking for? Um, or because sometimes when you try to clarify things, they're still going, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah,
So,
I know, I know.
and,
Sorry,
and,
sorry for laughing.
I know, but we both had the same situation that we were speaking the words, and this person understood completely what we said, and this person is like, I don't understand. And you go, all right, then there's something there's something more going on here than just that, and that made me ponder about how
Yes,
as the frequencies are increasing, there is a vaster difference between our ability to communicate. And uh, so I'm going to be dipping into more of my tools to bridge this 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 new situation. And
yes.
thank you, universe. I love it the way you give me opportunities to kind of shine myself up a little bit.
Exactly. And it's always interesting. And I adapted that word from you. Thank you. Because I love the way how you approach things, right? When you say, okay, I see something that's off, a little bit off here. Oh, it's interesting, right? So I'm going to figure out what this means. And indifference numbs, but detachment liberates. When you detach, you release the illusion that your worth depends on how others behave, how situations resolve, or how the story ends. You reclaim your energy from the places where you once scattered it.
Uh-huh.
You gather yourself back into wholeness. You become a clear vessel for intuition, wisdom, and inner guidance. So, detachment is not coldness, it's warmth without burning yourself out. It is compassion without self sacrifice. It is love that breathes instead of grasps.
Yes. Oh, beautifully put. Beautifully put. Oh, speaking of kind of squirming, uh, is it, I feel like it's getting time for the hot seat.
Oh,
I last night at I have a meditation group that comes every Tuesday night, and I said to them, I said, this woman has this magic place she goes and brings questions that are so simple, and you look at them and the words are simple, but the meaning is like universal. And I go, okay. And she's going to ask me these questions.
She's
However,
going to put me in the hot seat.
I learned that I can put you in the hot seat. So it works out well. So, what is it,
Thank
dear
you.
sister, that you would like to pose to the universe today?
So I just want to finish up with one last um, thing for detachment.
Okay.
Detachment is the path of emotional sovereignty. It is the art of staying open while staying whole. It is the gentle mastery of loving without losing yourself. And in this mastery, you rise.
Oh, wow.
That
Wow.
was it.
That's
And
beautiful.
you like that.
Yeah, the gentle mastery of loving without losing yourself. That that is another. That's perfect. Uh, and that's what we all really come to learn. I think is is that unconditional love without losing yourself. Perfect.
Exactly.
Wow.
And time for the questions then, right? So,
Okay.
as we explore this theme, sorry, here are a few reflections that help us feel into the shift. These reflections are for all of you watching as well, not only Miss Corrine, who's going to sit
And
on the
squirm.
burning heater. Yes.
Yep.
Uh, so you can ponder about them. Think about what would that mean for you, right? First question. What does true detachment feel like when it comes from love rather than fear?
Uh, well, I think very simply that the way that I would put it is that if it's coming from fear, then it is more like indifference because detachment is always going to feel safe and loving. And if you start feeling fear and apprehension, I think that you've shifted from really being truly detached and gone into um, I need to react to this. And if I react to this, it's going to offend me or bother me. So I'm going to be indifferent to the outcome rather than being in that detachment. Bet you weren't expecting that answer, were you?
But you know, detachment, as we said before, it's not to be cold or not feeling anything or just remove yourself from situation or someone or whatever it is, right? But it's different from attachment. So when you attach yourself to something, that's going to lead to the indifference part, right?
Yep.
Because you force yourself into something where you really do not want to be. Detachment means that you are in your energy and therefore you hear yourself and you actually have more to give when you're not jumping into all the hustle and bustle and, all these things that the world is giving us.
That's right.
Temptations, stepping in with both feet into something, starting an argument, right, over something that's not really needed. So I love your answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Second question. How can we stay emotionally present without becoming entangled in another's energy?
Okay. I know the amount of time and energy that I have allowed myself to move into a better space where I can still be emotionally present and caring without engaging in another person's energy. And I started that. basically, I started Reiki because I knew that if I had that first level, I could work within a person's energy field and not pick up their energy as easily. And that appealed to me because I'm an empath. And I thought, well, that will be a tool that I can use, not knowing that I would eventually, go the other direction. But teaching yourself, it's almost like what is mine and what is theirs. And you know what? I've got so many things going through my head. I'm going to throw this one back at you for a minute because I need to take a pause and go, how can I clarify this? So, would you clarify this beautiful question?
Thank you, thank you. It's my honor. And we can be there for someone without taking their stuff on. That's another way of expressing it, right? So when
Right.
you feel so much for someone that you just allow yourself to take on whatever they are carrying, um, that is not going to bring something good about it because you will carry yourself plus someone else, right?
Yep.
But means that you become entangled in their energy. So when I talk about detachment and taking that step back, it doesn't mean I detached and closed the door to a person or a situation. It means that I detach myself energetically from something so I can see what I can, if I can contribute with something, or if I can just make that person feel that I am there with them, but without taking it on. I know this is kind of hard to express, right? I
Yes.
hope you got it.
Yeah.
You love this one.
I think I think because we live it so much, it's hard sometimes to articulate it. And you're doing a beautiful job. And thank you because my tongue got twisted around my eye teeth, and I could not see what I was saying. So thank you very much.
Thank you too. Okay, you want to move on to the next question?
Please.
Yes. In what ways does detachment help us honor our own boundaries while still caring deeply?
Oh, oh, that's a really, really, really masterful one. Um, and having the art of detachment, it really allows you to understand that you're not being cold and uncaring when you detach from another person's outcome. And I think that helps set my boundaries because empaths are boundaryless. We just want to
Yeah,
give love to everybody, and we end up having some real life changing situations. Um, but understanding that the greatest gift we can give ourselves and others is to have those boundaries. And detachment is almost like saying you're giving everything that you are able to give, and you're assisting this person, but you are not completely emptying out totally. And like old expression, you cannot pour tea from empty teapot. And
no, you don't.
empaths have a tendency to empty the pot out and then wonder why there's nothing more to give.
Yeah.
So
Plus,
detachment is a
plus,
good
yeah,
tool. Yeah.
plus something else that's very, very common. Feeling bad about not jumping into taking the other person's challenge or burden or whatever it is
Yep.
on.
Yep.
So that is a great thing to work on. Not feeling guilty. for not taking it on, right? As an
Uh-huh.
empath, because we are not actually helping anyone. It's going to be two people having the same burden, and it's going to be twice as bad, right?
Right. Yes, it really is. It really is. You
Yeah.
know,
So, not a good idea.
not a good idea.
No. But it can feel very challenging for a person that is very empathetic. But that's
Yep,
because we have been taught empathy should show off in a certain way, right?
exactly.
So, fourth question, how do we recognize the difference between peaceful detachment and emotional shutdown?
Wow. Ah, I would have to say that when you are detached, you can still have love flowing. When you are in an emotional shutdown, you go find a hole to be in. You can't give to yourself. You can't give to others, and you literally are walking away and falling into the I don't care what's going to happen. I just need to get away. And when you are in that beautiful place of detachment, you still have that capability of feeling the love flowing. And it's a totally different feel from when you are withdrawing emotions.
Yeah. Yes, yes. It's totally different. Sorry, I think I got you. Yeah. You. Sorry.
Well, we love this time of year.
Yeah, I know. And it's the season here in Sweden because everything is, I have a few days here, so it's starting probably.
Yeah. Oh,
And going out in nature tomorrow, hugging the trees.
I know.
But here's so fifth question. What daily practice helps you release attachment yet remain compassionately connected?
I would have to say that my daily meditation. Um, I don't necessarily get up and sit on a pillow and say Om. I go and sit in my garden. I commune with nature. I take my shoes off. I walk in the grass. I am in that place of oneness, and that definitely is going to help me keep connected. Okay, what daily practice helps you release attachment? Okay, I would still say the meditation, because when I go into a meditative state, then I am also receiving information from a higher perspective. And that gives me an ability to go, okay, well, I was getting too attached to that. And lovingly, I need to let it go and let it grow.
Yes, beautifully said. Beautifully said. So we also have an affirmation.
May I? May I?
Yes, please.
I love reading your affirmations. Okay. I honor the sacred balance between love and freedom. I release what is not mine to carry, yet remain open in compassion. My heart knows how to stay present without losing itself. In clarity, I find peace. In peace, I find the deeper connection, and I am whole, lovingly, and free all at once.
Oh, thank you. You said that beautifully.
I love reading your words. They're just beautiful.
We have a thumbs up in the chat. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yes.
And is there anything else we want to say?
Always.
Yeah, we could be talking on for hours here because it's so. Sometimes it may sound like we talk about the same things, but there are so many different angles to it, right?
Exactly.
Uh, Walking the spiritual path is actually a vast, wonderful, beautiful thing to do. It's huge, and many things does actually make sense, even if they are spiritually. It's not all fluffy, right?
Right.
Many things do make sense. And I think that's why we so compassionately do this and talk about things because the gifts are one thing, right? And all the other stuff that comes around. But the journey is personal and it starts from within you. And it you can't actually have anyone else do that for you. So
No.
that's why we come from all these different angles. And
Right.
it's also a process. So we have been on to this for many years, you longer time than me, right? But it doesn't really matter. There are always new discoveries and new layers. Like today, conversations, right? How you can obvious things, right? So
Yes.
like you feel like, okay, I'm sitting on the moon and talking to someone on Mars,
Very
right?
definitely. Yes. And yet a person listening would the words are compatible. They would have worked. But when you start really understanding frequencies and vibration, um, that puts a whole new spin on things. So that's going to be an interesting conversation you and I will have.
Yes, that's going to be wonderful. So,
Yes.
are we wrapping this up, you think?
Uh, you're the director and the producer, and I'm just the high paid help. I mean, around here, so
You
or the
are the
or,
beauty.
or the or the talent, as they say.
Yes,
LOL,
you are the
LOL.
beauty showing off.
Yes,
Hmm. So you can find upcoming and past episodes at youtube.com/ at Cosmic Guardians 111 slash streams and youtube.com/ at Angel Place on Earth slash streams and angelplaceonearth.com/ upcoming dash past. That's on the website. So you can always find information over there. And you can connect with us, read articles, and find out all the details about Kareen, how to find her, and myself, Anne, at angelplaceonearth.com/ cosmic guardians. Plus, you can find Kareen at liquidenergyhealing.com. You can find our series at angelplaceonearth.com/ series cosmic guardians. And we currently have two series. The first one is the four agreements, which this year, in the beginning of this year, came to the fifth agreement. So we actually added that into everything, and we made 12 insights from the Celestial prophecy. That's a goodie too.
yes,
Very strong teachings, both of them, when you want to dig in and understand what's happening with you and how you can peel the onion, so to speak. Our
yes,
next upcoming show with Miss Corrine and myself on Cosmic Sis-Stars Show is next Wednesday, May 20th, and we will talk about illuminating horizons, the journey to a radiant world.
oh wow.
That's going to be a little bit more positive, right? Looking outwards, what can we create?
Yeah,
We do go live for you every Wednesday. in US and Europe, and every Thursday in early morning in our future Australia. And as we drift from today's luminous exchange, may the essence of detachment shimmer gently through your awareness, not as distance, but as devotion in its purest form. To love without clinging, to care without losing oneself, to stand in truth while embracing compassion. This is the quiet revolution of the heart. Let these insights ripple through your days, reminding you that freedom and tenderness can coexist beautifully. Until we meet again, keep shining from your center where peace and presence are one. With infinite love, peace, and joy,
Yes.
we see you, we hear you, we honor you, we love you, we appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.